What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. And today, as always, we're going to be talking about the medbed hack uh, that I am using almost every day, about every other day. And I'll show you my setup right now, folks. I think you're going to find it pretty amazing if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is. That's my setup. That's it. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me once again. You're the creator of this, or actually, you've been the journalist, the investigative journalist, medical journalist, and revealing how this red light system works with the PEMF mat. And folks, this is absolutely amazing. I believe this is the best way to hack the med beds. And so, Jonathan, go ahead, take it away.
Oh, thank you, David. It's such a
Well, first of all,
privilege.
do you like my setup here? It's pretty cool, right?
I love it. I love it. And the thing is, the results you're getting is awesome, and it's become the go-to or the standard where we're seeing the transformations that you're seeing in your health and whatever it is that people are battling with, whether it's a thyroid condition or whether it's a neurological or people are turning around autoimmune conditions. It's fascinating. You may as well also share some of the benefits that you've seen over
Well,
several months, really.
Well, okay, so let's just I'll just lay it out there. So I noticed that what I'm going through right now with my parents, the stress my elderly parents is like stress I've never dealt with in my entire life.
Hmm.
I'm still going. I'm supercharged. I'm able to do the podcast. So I know that it's helping me emotionally and making me feel better throughout my day. I'm sleeping better at night. Usually and I'm still worrying about my dad and my mom. I mean, they're in the twilight time right now. They're in their last days.
Hmm.
Months maybe. I don't know how long they got, but it's hard dealing with the nurses, everything going on, and I don't think I'd be able to do any of it if I didn't have any kind of boost or advantage. And I feel like the red light and the PMF mat is giving me an advantage to take on the day, the stress, and keep my nose above water. So I
Wow.
can't imagine the benefits it would have if I wasn't dealing with the stress I'm dealing with. And I'm
Wow.
still able to keep my nose above water, feel good, knock out the podcast, go to the gym. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm noticing an emotional boost, a pep in my step, feeling pretty good. And I see these everywhere. I see them they're all over the place now. They're on billboards, they're at clinics, and dude, they're charging ridiculous amounts of money to go in there and sit in front of these things for 20 minutes, like 50, 80, $100 here in El Paso,
Wow.
to just sit in front of the red light. And I'm like, man, it doesn't make sense to me. It's like just get one. Just get
Yeah.
one. And then if you add the PEMF mat, like we've done, and do the sandwich effect, dude, the benefits are off the charts. So for me, I just feel better. And I want to stop. I want to be preventative with anything that could happen down the line because I know I'm being bombarded with chemicals, the things that are being sprayed in the sky. All day long, we're being bombarded, right? So for me,
Wow.
I at least want to be ahead of the ball. I want
Yeah.
to be ahead of the ball and at least feel better and know that I'm at least doing my best, at least trying to do my best to stay ahead of the curve.
Wow. Awesome, man. Some of the ones that we've tracked over the several months with you have been anxiety. You've continued to you've talked about sexual performance
Oh,
and
well, hold on. My anxiety, man. Woo, my whole life has been off the charts. I've had generalized anxiety disorder is what they diagnosed me with. Now I'm I feel great. I may have a little anxiety to keep me going through my podcast and stuff like that, but I don't have it like I used to. And honestly, I'm keeping the weight off. My skin's looking pretty good for my age. I
that's
mean, I'm
amazing.
48, dude. I think I look pretty good for 48. And my
You look
energy at the
amazing.
gym is good. So that's what I'm noticing.
Wow, that's amazing. And then back pain. I remember there was a time when it was like, okay, it was getting a little bit better, but then there was a time when then you reported, okay, now this is a big difference now.
For my back, I can say I'm taking a lot of other supplements with
Yeah.
this, C60, different stuff. But it was my back honestly was intolerable. Like for a while there, I couldn't even get out of a chair. I'd lay down, get up, and I'd be like, go to the gym, and I'd have to grit my teeth going to the gym. It's not like that at all.
Wow.
Now if it was if it was a 9 on the pain scale, it's now a 1.5 to a 2, which is very tolerable. I can deal with that, you know. So
Wow.
there's a lot of things, but I'm adding a lot of stuff to my repertoire. I'm the C60, turmeric, red light therapy, methylene blue, the whole. I'm doing it all because I'm like, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, it's awesome. And then when you think about the combination there, where if you're using turmeric with curcumin as the active ingredient, it's often actually not absorbed by the body and or not to great enough extent. Methylene blue also not activated. And so then what activates them? And red light is proven to work together with those. And they fall into a category called photosensitizers. And so the photosensitizers, they work synergistically well. So there's a clinical study on thyroid, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which tested two groups, one with selenium, vitamin D3, and iron, and then the other group with those three supplements and red light therapy. The group with red light therapy, this is published on PubMed, had a 70 times better effect at improving T3, T4 levels, so achieving thyroid hormone balance, and 15 times greater level at reducing medication needs, specifically of levothyroxine or synthroid as it's known. So that gives you an example of the other things that you're doing. They exist and they're important. And what happens is that it amplifies those. And then if there's any of them that you just keep sticking to, and maybe, you cycle in and out, but then the red light and the PEMF become the consistent ones. And they're the most proven for the conditions that you're talking about. In terms of whether it's back pain or anxiety, red light and pulse electromagnetic field therapy are the most proven. So it's really important for people to put that equation together.
I mean, I guess it just returns you to balance, right?
Yep,
I mean,
exactly.
that's
Because
the way because we are also out of balance right now. We're so also out of whack that, at any given day, I'll walk outside and I'll see planes just sweeping the sky with that nasty crap they're spraying all over the sky. And then by noon, it's hazy. The day's hazy. So I'm not getting the sunlight I need. But then I just go into my room, I turn on the red light, and I just feel like I'm getting a tan out on the beach. Like it feels great. I just feel that warmth coming down. And you got to, and there's no radiation coming from this device, folks. None.
no.
Zero. Correct? I
Yeah,
mean, you
exactly. It's a
tested it
zero EMF.
publicly with the EMF device.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could grab one right now and put it up on the device. Let's see.
And this is worth the wait, folks, because honestly, a lot of people ask me, like, well, hey, is there radiation coming from the red light? I say, no, there's not. And he'll prove it right now. Because that was a big concern for a lot of people is there radiation being emitted from the red light device? And there's not. So just know that it's safe in that aspect.
Exactly. Exactly. Unfortunately, because I'm traveling, I'm looking for my EMF meter, but next time I'll show. But we've demonstrated that a bunch of times, so I think a lot of people have seen that where all I do is put an EMF meter on, whether it's the PEMF or the red light, and it's a zero reading, which is really important because you're actually balancing the issues that are happening with the electromagnetic field. So with EMF, with the negative electromagnetic frequencies, PEMF is clinically proven to balance and basically take out the EMF issue. So PEMF, interestingly counters EMF. So, and then, but coming back to just some of the last ones, sexual performance was interesting with you because, and you talked about that
Well, I
publicly.
was just getting more like not performance, but I mean, it was just more like just the drive, but it also has to do with the stress of my parents and everything going on. But the red light, I feel, has taken care of that to a level where, yeah, like I'm emotionally feeling better. When you feel better, you feel like you can, do whatever you want to do. Right. So
Yeah.
we'll just leave it at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think that even that we went that far, people would be like, okay, these guys are talking the talk, right? They're like open. Yeah, so that was awesome. And so I think that the big takeaways for people are, whether it's with conditions, this is a book that I authored, and the big C off switch. And on the back here, Dr. Antonio Jimenez, he writes, for anyone touched by this condition or seeking to prevent it, this book isn't just recommended, it's essential. So he's 30 years experience in integrative oncology. He's the chief medical officer for the Hope for Big C treatment centers. And when we're looking at research And when he's looking at, the things that he stands behind and recommends, there's a reason why that with the patients that go through his program, our red lights with Red Life are part of their follow-up program, because it's so important that these guys stay the course and get the right treatment over time. And it's what he uses personally for his own health on a fairly practically a daily basis. For again, like these are the best clinics in the world. There's people that are listening to this and they know these centers. They know that they're the people, that they're places where the big names, the celebrities go. And so it's an honor to serve in that way, and it's also an honor to have him talk about my research as being groundbreaking. And so when you listen to this and when you look at some of the emerging science on what we've been sharing in regards to the concept of a medbed technology, a medbed hack, the ability to combine the pulse electromagnetic field with red light for whatever you're battling with, and to see what it can do for your health. And we're uncovering all the studies on the _𝗏𝗏𝗏. We're uncovering the studies on the autoimmune conditions, and I'll show some of this on a slide here, because we tap into the stem cell aspect of what it is that's causing the body to regenerate when we tap into the different wavelengths. So what we did is we hit the big hitters. So we got in the case of the red lights, and then both red and near infrared, we hit the 480, 590, 630, and these 600s are getting through to the dermis, subcutaneous tissue. But then in the near infrared, 800, 830 up to 1060, we're hitting through to the muscle, bone, and interior tissues. And when you hit into these regions, then you're signaling this area of the body and stimulating how the body will even produce stem cells in these areas, and then cause those stem cells to mature. So both the proliferation, which is the creation, and the differentiation, where they mature into normal healthy cells. And both red light and pulse electromagnetic field are the most proven to do these. And so then you'll see here, why is it working? And these certain wavelengths are working with wound healing, injury healing, oral health. And then you've got stem cell regeneration working in all of these wavelengths. So you're hitting to this region of the body, you're stimulating the stem cell production, you're causing the mitochondria in the stem cells to activate so that the stem cells can produce more. They're subdividing faster. And that's why it ends up becoming a substitute. And this is with my dad, right? I spent $30,000 on stem cells for his knees, and we actually didn't get any improvement. Whereas with red light, we had a dramatic turnaround with his knees. And so what cost me $30,000, then, for a few $100s, I was able to outperform it. And it's an everlasting tool. And in fact, we could treat 100 people with the same thing. And that's why I'm telling people as well, once you have a device, help your loved ones. Because some people will say, med beds are supposed to be free. You can make it free for your loved ones. Your loved ones could make it free for you if you're in a situation where it's absolutely impossible. And for people that are struggling, one of the things we're encouraging people to do is get these red light belts, because you can move them around your body for a couple of $100s. You literally can play in this big game of regenerative medicine, and that's unheard of. And so there's no reason for anyone to sit on the sidelines, especially when we're interfacing with the liver and the kidneys and the heart. These are vital organs.
See, I'm all about squeezing out any bit of life you have left, any quality of life you can get. Because for me, I've abused my body. A lot of people treat their body like a temple. I treated mine like an amusement park, right? Wow. And it was just, boxing, partying. I mean, I burned the candle at both ends. I'm surprised I'm alive today. So now I'm like, wow, man, I did so much to my body, and I've abused it so bad, that a lot of people, like I could have been dead 3 times already. And now I just want to live a long, extended life. I never really thought I'd get to this age. Really, you don't think you're going to get to 40, 45, 50. You don't think you're going to get there. And then all of a sudden, blink of an eye, you're there, man. Wow. And it's like, okay, so now I got to look forward to the next 10, 20, 30, plus years of my life. And I want them to be quality. So I want to do stuff now to help that.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. And then because you're interfacing in all these different regions, you're giving yourself that revamp, that revitalization, the regenesis of your new healthy cells. And so if you can turn over, right, and this is the name of the game, you're getting rid of the bad cells. And it's not that you have these like evil cells. It's just that they can't complete their cell cycle. They can't. They've got to that age where now it's ready for them to go, but they don't even have the energy to make that transition. So we give the cells energy, senescent cells, zombie cells. They stop multiplying, but they're not dying, and so then that will activate that, and that's called apoptosis, and mitophagy shuts down those senescent mitochondria, senescent cells, and then new cells get activated. And this is the reason why people look younger, feel younger. And you can look at all the categories I'm going in, whether it's hair growth or rosacea. And this is why we're saying, guys, like, red light, the medbed hack, this is the way out of the expensive medical system where you're paying money in each of
That's
these
another thing.
categories.
My hair's gotten thicker, man.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's like, it's all right, man.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I
amazing.
never, my hair was really never that bad, but I mean, it's getting thicker, definitely getting thicker.
Yeah. And guys, that Nino will like kind of fact check himself and things like that. So if he's saying that, then it takes a while. Like that's the first time
I'm not using the Rogaine as much.
Oh, good on you, man. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And then the other thing was the eyesight, because anyone with eyesight issues were like, I've almost not seen that not work for people. Everyone
No, my
reports,
eyesight's better. My eyesight's better.
yeah. That's a big deal, man. And so then, because like as I talk about the things that you end up saving money in, like I've got two young children. 6,400 children were in a set of 41 clinical trials on eyesight. Red light was the #1 thing that stopped vision worsening in children, and it was stopping the elongation of the eye, and then it's reversing myopia. And that's why with UCL University, when they tested just 3 minutes, eyes open in the morning, just 3 minutes, it was 17% improvement on average for all the participants. And this is people over 40. So with myopia. And I've seen mid 90-year-olds get there. I mean, and by the way, look at these categories I'm pointing out here. And so whether you have like a condition like this, or you're trying to prevent it, or simply like you have a prostate, you have breast, you have lungs, well, let's interface with that region of the body, cause the cells, new cells to get created so that you can turn the tide and have new healthy vivacious cells. And but I've seen, I remember Joanne, right? So 92 going on 93, she then is able to, read, for the first time in 6 years. And then she's able to see out of the peripherals of her eyes. She had only tunnel vision. She had macular degeneration. We've seen such success, not even in just, young people, middle age, but even the ultra elderly. And so this is really quite groundbreaking. And that really excites me. And yeah, that was the study actually, by the way, on the childhood myopia. There you go. See, that was the 6,400 children, 41 clinical trials, and it was getting the children to actually even dramatically improve their eyesight. And then we just look at all the conditions that people are facing, all the medications, all the that rat hamster wheel, whatever, right? People then we're helping people get out of that and then save money, because all of these categories cost a lot of money, and then they don't actually even necessarily work. There's symptom improvement. And then, with better sleep, we're helping activate better sleep with both red light and PEMF. The PEMF studies are showing 69.7% went into remission of insomnia, and during the clinical study, right? So, and that's why as soon as somebody adds in the red light, adds in the PEMF, then all of a sudden they're getting such a deep sleep. Or even with red light, people are getting deep sleep just on red light. And then the cool thing is with our PEMF, we've showed that before, where you've got red light in it as well, and far infrared heat and PEMF. And at the right parameters, where you've got this profound amount of magnetic field strength, which is 150 millitesla that we have in our device. With our red lights, we've got over 200 milliwatts of power at 3 inches. It's the highest delivered power, the 9 most proven wavelengths. There's a reason
I
why
have it on
people
full
like you
blast. I mean, I have both my PEMF mat turned up all the way and the red light turned up all the way. So that's just the way I do it.
Yeah, exactly. No, and then even if you had it up full blast, but if your device wasn't powerful enough and it wasn't delivering much power at full blast, it would still be weak, right? Because, these are the reasons why, like the groups like the 𝗀𝗶𝗱𝗲 Center in Tijuana and Cancun that service a lot of international, especially US patients, they're using our products in their follow up, because it's a clinical device, a medical device at a consumer price, and that makes it possible for people. Love this one on thyroid Hashimoto's. This 47% went off levothyroxine just after 5 weeks. They've got hypothyroidism, and after 5 weeks they're off it. And perhaps all of them would have got off it if it wasn't just 5 weeks of treatment. Like that was a 9-month follow-up. Then they did a 6-year follow-up, and it was remarkable the difference between the two groups. And so it was even lasting over the 6 years. It wasn't as great if they had have kept doing it, but the treatments that they did over that 5-week period had a dramatic difference. And we're seeing this with heart health, and having loved ones have died over the years. For me, even in my childhood, with heart conditions, then both red light and PEMF and sauna therapies, right? Which is why we're doing this sauna blanket. 63% reduction in sudden cardiac death through regular sauna therapy. So these studies just give people a tremendous hope, right? So look at this last paragraph. It activates natural healing molecules like TGF-beta1, which help the heart regenerate rather than scar. In simple terms, red light therapy gives the cardiovascular system a cellular tune-up, helping the heart stay strong, flexible, and youthful as the body ages. So these are just
the vitamin D levels, red light therapy for stroke. I mean, all this stuff. I mean, especially a lot of my audience are older. This is going to only benefit them, and it's what a better investment than to make on your health. Like I don't see. I mean, I used to spend $1,000 on a bar tab, dude.
Wow.
That's like what, one panel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On a bar tab, dude. Wrecking my body. So to me, this is a no-brainer. Jonathan, where do people find this? How do they get it? Where do they go? And
Absolutely.
What are the benefits right now?
Absolutely. So you would go to myredlight.com, right? So
I'll put the link down there below. It will be down there below. But what are the codes they use?
Absolutely. So super simple. We have you guys there at myredlight.com, and then with 𝗍𝗏25, when you're getting like whether it's a PEMF mat or a red light like this one here. By the way, that's the RL Pro 200, and then the one that Nino is using, that's the 300, right? So it's going to cover all your organs, and so just get started anywhere, right? Whether it's with a simple belt, whether it's with something like this. And
this is what I did. This is the sandwich medbed hack right here. The red light above, the PEMF mat below. I turn them both up, full speed, full power. I lay there sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes a full 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, depending on how much time I have in the day, which is not much. But even if I get in a 5-minute session, dude, I feel good.
Yeah, amazing. And so, like, your future just looks different. Your life, the life that you have with your loved ones, the important people, the young people, all these things. Like we're going to have more connection with our loved ones, and people that have grandchildren, like you guys, like like the years that you have with these precious children, the years that we have with our children, the years that we have with our parents. Like, anyway, it's so important. So 𝗍𝗏25 is the code that you use with single items, and you'll see it. So NINO, like everyone that listens to your show.
Hopefully they can spell it. Hey, yo.
Yeah. By the way, I was here in Boise, like with a really good friend for like over a decade, Dr. Daniel Newsom, great doctor. But his parents came in and they're like, "We see you all the time in Nino's show. We love Nino."
All right.
Yeah, it was awesome.
They love Nino, or they love
Sancho.
It's one of the two.
And I mean, and these guys are angels, man. They had like 15 children that they adopted, and
holy cow.
And they were special needs, and that's what made this doctor.
Oh, that's so cool.
Amazing.
Hey, more power to them, dude.
Yeah. Dr. Daniel Newsom, man, he then was like, and then became the youngest
I used to ride the short yellow bus in 8th grade because I was in trouble. You know what the short yellow bus is, right? The short bus.
Yeah, I think so. No.
Yeah, special needs. But I rode the bus because I was always getting in fights, ditching school, getting in trouble. So they're like, all right, look, the principal said, well, you can send him to the principal of the school said, send him to my school. He's a friend of my dad. He was Paul Strelz, send him to my school. We'll put him in the special classes and I'll make sure he passes. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Boy, was that tough. Oh boy. Anyway, Yeah, my friends used to make fun of me because I rode the short bus for a good semester. Anyway, Jonathan, thank you for joining me. So, can you want to show the website and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, again, like it's just myredlight.com. And then so you can check it out here, right? So myredlight.com. And then you'll see here, like this here, it's worth watching, guys. Like it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. You'll see me go through a full presentation, help you understand like all of the things that you can use this for and loved ones that may be struggling. And then you just choose which package. You'll make a big saving again, like 25 or 30% off. The code for bundles, Nino30. The code for single items, Nino25. And it says there when it talks about the code.
Isn't there also just Nino or no? Is it Nino?
Yeah, Nino, if you just use Nino, it's going to activate the 25% off.
Okay. All right. Because I
And
don't want to
so
confuse
just
people.
like when you see the one that says 30, then you could use the 30, Nino30, and you'll get that. So even if you're just getting a single red light, or your PEMF mat or the sauna blanket on its own, like just have a look. Some of you guys have some items, and some of you haven't got anything, and it makes sense to jump in and get a bundle. There's payment plans, by the way. We've got 6 or 12 months or longer, and you just look at even what like a red light
those are
belt like
pretty cool.
this. These are game changers. Like I've got Tim Tebow using this, and we're helping some of these VIPs that are fighting human trafficking with these Red Life Pro belts here, and the other belt as well. Like these are game changers, and so it just makes it accessible. I've seen people go from a 9 out of 10 pain score just with this, like $297 Red Light belt, and to a 0. Like Dee was one, right? She had quit a career and everything. She regained a $48,000 a year salary. Over the next 10 years, it's $500,000 from a $297 product. And so people that say that it's not within reach, it's not true. If you got that on a payment plan over 12 months, you're $30 a month. And like, there's always a way if you want to do that. Like that, $300, my dad is using this, and it changed his life. $30,000 in stem cells didn't. And that was really disappointing for him and me.
That's great. How much?
30,000, because it was multiple failed attempts
dude.
over about like 8 years. Like I tried twice over the last 8 years, but it was multiple injections. And yeah, man. So like, I am just so, I just don't want people to go through that. And some of these bigger packages end up becoming very affordable because you do the math on it. Like one supplement for the family, for my family of 4, we're talking about like what, $50, $600 a year just for me, my wife, $1,200 now. With my 2 children on the same supplement, $2,400 over the next 10 years. It's $24,000, right? So for me to spend $2,000 instead on something that the whole family can use becomes a game changer.
And not to mention, you don't know who the donors are for these stem cells, man. And they could have been bing, 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 bing in the shoulder right there.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
Jonathan,
exactly.
Yeah, seriously, that's why I doctors are like, you got to come in for some stem cells. I'm like, no, because you don't vet who gives the stem cells anymore. And after 2020, I trust none of it. I'll stick with the red light therapy. Jonathan, I got to bounce.
Oh, no worries, man. And
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, brother, for having me, man. And I just wanted someone to see a study there. That's the combination of PEMF and red light. It outperforms, right? So in the clinical studies, if PEMF is on its own, it does well. If red light is on its own, it does really well. But when they're together, they outperform either one by themselves. So medically, look in nature. You were designed to be on the earth and get light at the same time. When they're in combination, you basically are limitless. And we're just seeing utmost amazing miracles happen. And so it's an honor, a privilege. Thank you, Nino. It's a blessing, man. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, folks, you know what to do. Go to the link down below. Get started on your health. The best investment you'll ever make. All right, folks. Later. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks, David.